Love smarter, not harder. Today's question. Hi, Dr. Karen. Thanks so much for all your material. I forwarded it to my friends. Thank you. You've addressed the struggles of singles in various ways, but I was hoping you could address the specific challenges during this time of social distancing that singles are facing. 1, we're confronted with a clear divide between colleagues and friends who have kids. They're constantly talking about dealing with the challenges of homeschooling, and even visually their kids appear on Zoom calls. And 2, we can't fill our lives with the other things we are normally doing, such as travel, social events, volunteering, basic in-person social interactions. Then, of course, we go down the thought pattern of how did I end up 36 and single and alone? It's hard and feeling different from others who are 36. I've been doing meditation and other things during this time, but it's frustrating not to have the family and kids and also not to have the other activities right now. It feels like my life is more empty. Makes perfect sense. I wish I could have some magic intervention that would make you feel less alone and less alienated and less isolated in this time. A global pandemic is going to enhance and exacerbate anything that we're already feeling. So you feel already at times at 36 and single and without kids, you already feel like you're off the path that you had hoped would be your life. And then the global pandemic sets in and you're all alone and you can't even meet up and do your normal things, which help you remember that you have a full and vibrant and fulfilling life. You don't feel that right now. It feels very, very off. And I would imagine that everyone is feeling whatever has been challenging for them in general is probably feeling extra challenging during this global pandemic. And I wish I had more for you to make that better, but I don't. But I do have so many resources, my podcast, of course, so many episodes devoted to these kinds of concerns because it's the stuff that I dealt with. And so even though my podcast covers a ton of content and a ton of different subjects, I always have many episodes devoted to the single life and how to thrive. And of course, my book, Single is the New Black, Don't Wear White Till It's Right. It's all about this. It's basically when I felt exactly what you felt at 36. And I thought, what's going on? I called off a wedding at 34 and then I dated another guy for 2 years and then he broke up with me at 36 and this was not the plan. This is not what was supposed to happen. So my entire book is about ways to continue to be happy and hopeful and positive and believe that the path that you are experiencing maybe isn't the path that you were hoping for, but it is your life and there are beautiful things about your life. Does it take away the fact that you feel lonely sometimes? No. Does it take away the fact that you worry about your biological clock? At 36, I'm sure you feel that clock ticking. I have a podcast episode called A Race Against Time, Beating the Biological Clock. It's episode 48, and that might be helpful for you. I talk about, in episode 74, I talk about how to build a strong marriage while you're still single so that you can realize that this time that you're single is not wasted. Even during a pandemic, there are things we can do to build into ourselves, because the more that we build into ourselves, the happier we are alone, the stronger we are emotionally alone, the better and happier and stronger our marriages will be. Promise, promise, promise. It's not just my opinion. It's the research as well. And episode 71, Own Your Timeline with Laura Banky, and she didn't get married until she was 38. And hadn't even had a boyfriend until she was 35. So definitely wasn't living the life that she hoped for, but she has embraced her life. And now at 40 is embarking upon IVF, hoping to have a kid. Got married at 38. And, her brand is called Life Actually. And it's all about embracing the life we actually have. This is a situation where we can do both. We can honestly acknowledge that our life isn't going the way we would like it to, and we can grieve those losses that feel very poignant, especially during this time. And we can still actively maintain hope. We can actively pursue podcasts, self-help books, asking questions like this to hope that we can still build into ourselves right now so that we can then, when we have that life that we're hoping for, not minimizing the life we have now, but also aspiring to that life, that we know that we spent our time when we were single in a way that would in fact enhance our future life and achieve our goals, such that this time will not feel that it was wasted. You'll really feel that you did the best you could with the time you had, and it will pay off in the future. And I hope that's helpful.